In a small, bustling town by the river, two brothers, Ethan and Noah, lived in a cozy cottage with their parents. From the moment they were born, they were inseparable, always sharing everything: games, secrets, and dreams. Ethan was the older of the two, and though he was just a couple of years older than Noah, he often took on the role of protector, guide, and confidant. Growing up, the brothers spent their days exploring the woods, building forts by the river, and playing games in the fields. Their bond was simple but strong. No matter how much they argued or bickered over the last piece of cake, or who would get to play with the toy first, it never lasted long. They knew deep down that their love for each other was stronger than any disagreement. As the years passed, their lives began to change. Ethan, with his quiet ambition, decided to leave the small town and pursue his dreams in the city. It wasn't an easy decision, but he was determined to make a name for himself. Noah, on the other hand, had always felt a deep connection to the town and their family's land. He couldn't imagine leaving. They spoke often, sending letters and sharing updates, but as time went on, their lives began to diverge more and more. One autumn evening, after a long period of silence, Noah received a letter from Ethan. The letter was short, but its message was clear. Ethan had encountered a difficult situation. He was struggling to make ends meet in the city, feeling lost and alone. The letter ended with a simple line: "I don't know if I can do this alone anymore." Noah didn't hesitate. Without a second thought, he packed his things and set off for the city to find his brother. After a long journey, Noah arrived in the city. The streets were loud and unfamiliar, a far cry from the quiet town he had grown up in. He searched for Ethan, unsure where to begin, but soon he found him in a small, dimly lit apartment. Ethan looked tired, his face worn with worry, and his eyes had lost the spark they once had. He stood up slowly when he saw Noah, as if unsure if his brother's visit was real or just a dream. "Noah," Ethan whispered, disbelief in his voice. Noah smiled and walked toward him, his arms open. "I'm here," he said simply, "and I'm not going anywhere." The two brothers stood in the middle of the apartment, holding each other in a long, tight hug. For the first time in a long while, Ethan felt the weight on his shoulders lift just a little. Having Noah there, someone who knew him better than anyone else, made the struggles of the city feel a little less heavy. For the next few days, Noah stayed by Ethan's side. He helped him with his work, listened to his concerns, and reminded him of the dreams they had shared when they were younger. Noah's presence gave Ethan a sense of calm and hope. Ethan realized that he didn't have to face the world alone. His brother was there, willing to support him no matter what. During that time, the brothers spent long nights talking, reminiscing about their childhood and the adventures they had together. Slowly, Ethan began to find his footing again. He started to rebuild his confidence, and with Noah's encouragement, he decided to pursue a different path, one that felt more in line with who he truly was, rather than the pressure of the city's expectations. Eventually, the time came for Noah to return to their small town. He had come to the city to remind his brother of their bond, to help him find his way back to who he really was. As Noah packed his bags, Ethan stood by the door, a new light in his eyes. "I'll never forget what you did for me," Ethan said, his voice full of gratitude. "You didn't have to come, but you did. You showed me that I don't have to go through life alone. I have you." Noah smiled, a warmth in his heart.